Hey guys, Holly J here, aka Planet Ginger, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, please be sure to hit that subscribe button. Today we have another TBR video. I kind of like the idea of doing these seasonal TBRs because I feel like I don't read quick enough to do a monthly TBR, and it gives me a little bit more time to really put together a list of books that I actually would feel accomplished getting through rather than just, if I were to do a monthly TBR, it would be like max like 2 or 3 books probably realistically. So I just think it's easier to do these seasonal ones, and they're a bit fun because I am a really big mood reader, and so sometimes I find that restricting myself to a TBR for like a month, it just kind of stifles my reading, and I just feel really like disappointed when I don't get through all of my TBR in such a short period of time. So I kind of like these seasonal ones, and I kind of liked me doing a fall one. So now we're getting into the winter time because it just seems like winter lasts a really long time. So I didn't want to make this TBR video too early on. But now that we're getting into December, we're past Thanksgiving, I feel like it's an appropriate time to start on a winter TBR. That's what we're going to be doing today. Before I get into my winter TBR, I kind of wanted to do a quick synopsis of my fall TBR for you guys. I do know in fall, let me just look at the books I read really quickly. Also, do you like my little wintry cardigan thing? Have little gingerbread men on them. I thought it was appropriate to wear for this video. For my fall TBR, I did continue on in the Ruthless Fae books. Honestly, I didn't get through as many as I would have probably have liked to, but I think I have 2 more left to read. We'll finally be done with those books. Those books have kind of been killing my soul and kind of killing my momentum with Zodiac Academy. I'm not gonna lie to you. I've not been very invested in them. We're just trying to get through that and get back to Zodiac Academy because I'd really like to keep going on Zodiac Academy, but I gotta get through these books first. So I am going to be continuing on in the winter time with those books. I finished the Divine Rivals, or I think it's called Letters of Enchantment series, which actually Rebecca Ross did come out with Wild Reverence, which I would like to read as well, but I did read Ruthless Vows in the fall. Thought it was pretty good. Divine Rivals was way better. I was not a major fan of the second one. I don't even know why. It just did not captivate me as much as the first book did. I think I rated it 3 stars. We've been continuing on with my Throne of Glass rereads, and we will be continuing on with Throne of Glass in the winter time. We are up to Air Fire at the moment. We're going to keep continuing on, but I probably will take a little bit of a breather in between Air of Fire and Queen of Shadows. I finished the Daughter of the Siren Queen, which I believe was on my fall TBR as well. Did like Daughter of the Pirate King better. Daughter of the Siren Queen was still cute, still good vibes with all the characters. It just wasn't to the tier that Daughter of the Pirate King was for me. Some books that actually took up a majority of my October, which was kind of spontaneous and not a part of my October reading list, the Five Nights at Freddy's books. So the first one is called The Silver Eyes, the second one is called The Twisted Ones, and the third one is called The Fourth Closet. I ate these books up. I read them, like I said, in October, which, you're kind of looking for those spooky kind of books. I adore Five Nights at Freddy's. I have played the game for years. Me and my friend came across this game and we just got really obsessed with them. I found out that there were books and I was like, I just need to read these because I really like Five Nights at Freddy's. The first and second book I rated 3 stars, and then actually the last one I rated 5 because there was a plot twist at the end. I was kind of like, whoa. I felt very invested in the characters and very invested in the book in general, and so I was just kind of like, wow. Probably my only gripe with the last book is I would have liked the original animatronics more involved in it. Definitely ended up enjoying that series and was glad that I added it to my fall TBR. I also ended up reading Wuthering Heights as well. I actually just finished this a couple days ago. I was very surprised at how I felt about that book. I have now seen things that like people are a little bit controversial about that classic and calling it a romance. I can see why it's called a romance, but also it's not what I was expecting at all. My gripe with Wuthering Heights, if I'm can put it in the most blunt way and most basic way of what I think about it, it's I could not stand Nellie as a character, and she is basically our narrator the entire time. I can appreciate the craft in Wuthering Heights. I actually enjoyed the story of Heathcliff and Catherine and Edgar and like their whole dynamic and all their drama, but like I hated Nellie. Like her character is just so like biased, and you can just tell she's so biased, which is part of the point of Wuthering Heights. And there's a lot to talk about in that whole avenue of things, but as just like a reader who just wanted to enjoy a story, I did not find her appealing in the slightest. Sorry, editing Holly here. I totally forgot to mention that I read A Discovery of Witches in the fall as well. I ended up giving that one a 3-star. It was a cute, fun read, but I did kind of start losing interest in the story when it got to the middle point. The beginning was really fun. I was super obsessed, but then it just sort of faded for me. Quick synopsis of that. That was my reading of A Discovery of Witches. I just definitely wanted to make sure that that got into the final cut of this video. Sorry for that little cut in. Now we can proceed with the video. Now we're diving into my winter TBR, and I'm really excited for some of these reads. Now that I'm getting kind of caught up on my continuing reads, I feel like I can transition a bit more to new reads that I want to begin and series I want to start. I already kind of addressed these, but for my continuing reads list, I want to continue reading Throne of Glass. I want to continue reading The Vicious Fae or Ruthless Fae or whatever you call those ones. Ruthless Fae, Vicious Fae, I don't know, something like that. 2 continuing reads that I haven't really talked about and I've been kind of waiting for wintertime to continue them is, first of all, Harry Potter. When I originally started becoming obsessed with Harry Potter, I was fairly young and the movies had come out all the way to the Order of the Phoenix. And so I had watched all the movies up until that point and wanted to know what happened. So I dove straight into The Half-Blood Prince and The Deathly Hallows, read those 2 books, and then called it good. Maybe either the beginning of 2025 or the end of 2024, I started starting from Sorcerer's Stone and reading them all through. And it's been really fun. I've been really enjoying that, but I kind of put a hiatus on that because we were kind of transitioning into summer. So I stopped. Ironically, I have the Order of the Phoenix to read right now, and then the Half-Blood Prince and the Deathly Hallows are going to be both rereads. I have that on my continuing reads for the wintertime. Another series that I'm continuing in the wintertime is Ice Planet Barbarians. Which I'm like almost embarrassed to admit, but these books, oh my gosh, I don't even know where to begin with these books. These books are so funny to me. Like they're so funny. They are like top tier comedy. And I kind of fall in love with these characters. I don't even read them for like the smut part. I literally read them for the characters and the comedy because it is just so lighthearted and so just fun and random that I just am kind of in love with these books. So I want to continue reading Ice Planet Barbarians. My next one is the holiday novella. And so I'm kind of like, oh, well, that's good timing to like dive back into these books. These are also kind of fun because they're nice palate cleansers. They're not anything too lengthy to read. They're not anything too brain intensive to read. So it sounds like that's kind of what I need right now. All right, getting into the new reads for winter. A lot of these are series and some of them are just like goals that I feel like I've just been putting off. I do have to read one more classic before the year is up. My goal was to read 3 classics during the year. Obviously, I just read Wuthering Heights. What was my other classic? Peter Pan, I think. Pretty sure it was Peter Pan. So I do need to read one more classic. The ones I'm kind of contemplating reading is Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. That's a potential. Frankenstein is a potential. Dracula is a potential. Oh, The Great Gatsby is a potential. I'm kind of trying to find a classic that is shorter in length. Classics tend to be a bit more brain intensive, so I'm trying to find one that like is maybe on the shorter side so that if it is a bit more brain intensive, it doesn't take up all of my time, especially that I am sort of in a reading slump. I want something that's going to captivate me and keep my attention. One book that just became available is The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillig. I adored her Shepherd King series, The One Dark Window and Two Twisted Crowns. Those were easy 5-star reads for me. So I'm really excited about The Night and the Moth. I've heard really good things about it. So that is a new read. And I think that there's going to be 2 books in the series at least. I don't think the second one has come out yet, but maybe it's going to be coming out, something like that. I don't know. So I'm really excited for that read. The second book that I would like to read is Heavenly Bodies. I have this on a Libby hold right now, and it should be becoming available hopefully right after I finish The Night and the Moth. I have wanted to read Heavenly Bodies for so long. There is a bookstagram called Dana's Bookshelf, and Dana is literally obsessed with, well, she's obsessed with a lot of books, but one of the ones she talks really, really good things about is Heavenly Bodies. And actually the next one on my TBR that she also talks highly of as well, which is The Curse of Ophelia. Both of those books are on my winter TBR, and both of those are heavily influenced by Dana. So if you haven't checked out Dana, go check her out. She has a super aesthetic page and she has a lot of good book recs. So highly recommend going and giving her a follow. So those two reads, Heavenly Bodies and The Curse of Ophelia, I would like to read in the winter. And I've wanted to read those for a really long time and just haven't gotten around to them. I want to read Heavenly Bodies first because it doesn't seem like there's as many in the series as The Curse of Ophelia. Both of them I think are going to be a bit more extensive series, so I'm a little hesitant to start them, but I just need to make the plunge because I've wanted to read them for so long, and they both sound really good. Another book I would like to read that seems like a very wintry aesthetic is The Bear and the Nightingale. My coworker highly has recommended this book to me. She says it is amazing. It's a little bit different because it's almost like a historical fiction sort of vibe because it's like based off of folklore. I don't know. She was kind of giving me a historical fiction vibe. I don't really know much about The Bear and the Nightingale. It sounds really interesting and it definitely sounds like a wintry feel. So I would like to probably read that in wintertime. I have had that on my TBR for a really long time, but I haven't gotten the push to read it. So we'll see if I get to it or not. Another book that I don't know why I have on my winter TBR, but I do. Maybe it's because like in winter I feel like more nostalgic or something, but I want to read The Wings of Starlight, which is, if you read the Pixie Hollow books back in the day, which I was obsessed with the Pixie Hollow books, it's Queen Clarion and like her story, and it's like a love story, and the synopsis sounds really cute, and I have not been in the Pixie Hollow universe in so long. I've actually contemplated picking up the Pixie Hollow books and just reading them for nostalgic purposes. I haven't, but I feel like I want to. This book I feel like would give me that same sort of feel, so I kind of just want to read something lighter and fun and something that gives me that cozy nostalgic feel, and I think The Wings of Starlight would do that for me in the winter. That's definitely something that I would like to accomplish this winter time. And then last but not least, I just feel like I would like to read a quirky little Christmas rom-com of some kind. I always say I'm gonna do this in the winter and then I never end up doing it. There's a couple like cute little Christmas rom-coms that I've seen that I feel like would be good, fun Christmas reads. Maybe I'll finally do it this year. A couple of the ones I'm looking at is Love Light Farms. I've seen good things about that one. A Cross Country Christmas. There's another one called Holiday Romance. All those seem like very rom-com-y and like easy peasy Christmas reads that I feel like I might enjoy. If I can read those before Christmas time, because I'm not gonna lie, this winter TBR, it's gonna extend past Christmas. I don't know where you guys all live, but I live in the PNW and our winter starts in November and doesn't end until like March, the end of March. So we're gonna have a long winter. I have a lot of time. I have like 4 months to read all these books. So, and I might need all that time. Anyways, I think that that's my TBR for the winter. Hopefully I can accomplish a good chunk of these reads through this time. If we have any of the same TBR books, make sure to give me a comment and let me know. I like seeing what other people are reading, so that would be fun. And if I give you any suggestions today in this video that you're like, oh, I want to read that too, let me know as well. Anyways, I think that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far in the video, make sure to comment this emoji down at the bottom. If you're not subscribed, what are you doing? Please hit that subscribe button and like the video if you like this style of content from me. We will see you on the next video. Bye bye.